Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most anticipated immigration updates of the year, the January Visa Bulletin prediction and the latest USCIS update. This bulletin is not just another monthly release, it is the first major immigration signal of the new year, the moment that sets the tone for how green card processing may unfold throughout 2026. Every January, the Department of State reviews fresh visa demand, unused numbers from the previous quarter, and new projections for the fiscal year. That's why the January bulletin often brings either long-awaited forward movement or surprising retrogression. For thousands of applicants across family-based and employment-based categories, this update may determine whether their priority date finally becomes current or remains stuck for months. Let's take a clear, simple, and powerful look at what you can expect in January 2026. The last three visa bulletins of 2025 gave us some strong clues. Family-based categories showed slow but positive movement. Employment-based categories, especially EB2 and EB3, stayed relatively stable, with some signs of unused visa numbers piling up. Meanwhile, USCIS hinted that it might continue allowing the dates for filing chart, a huge advantage for applicants inside the U.S. waiting to file their adjustment of status. Now the big question is, will January bring progress or pressure? Starting with the family-based categories, the outlook is cautiously optimistic. The F1 category, unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens, may advance by 1 to 5 weeks. The Philippines and rest of the world applicants could see slightly better movement than usual. F2A, which covers spouses and children of green card holders, remains one of the most stable categories. Analysts expect it to continue progressing, with dates for filing likely to remain current. For F2B, slow movement is expected, around 1 to 4 weeks, while the F3 category may advance only 1 or 2 weeks. And for F4, the sibling category, movement will probably remain limited, but still forward, roughly 1 to 3 weeks depending on country demand. Overall, family categories look steady, safe, and unlikely to show any major retrogression. The movement may be slow, but it's real progress. But the real spotlight always falls on the employment-based categories, especially for applicants from India, China, and rest of the world. EB1 is shaping up to be one of the strongest categories in January 2026. For most countries, EB1 should remain current. India and China may see slight advancement, possibly 1 to 3 weeks, thanks to reduced demand in late 2025 and potential spillover numbers. EB2, on the other hand, is expected to move forward slowly. Rest of the world may see small gains. India might get 1 to 3 weeks of advancement, although heavy I-140 filings from earlier months could limit major progress. China is expected to see modest movement, but nothing dramatic. EB3 remains the most unpredictable category. Rest of the world may stay current. China could see better improvements compared to India, while India's EB3 dates may barely move or remain stagnant. Other workers under EB3 generally move slower due to high demand, so advancement should remain minimal. For EB4, no major changes are expected, and EB5 continues to show strength in the reserved categories, which will likely remain current. The unreserved categories, especially for countries with high demand, might face a small risk of retrogression if new filings increase rapidly. When we look at the movement country by country, things get clearer. Applicants from India may see slight movement in EB1, slow advancement in EB2, and almost no change in EB3. China, however, may enjoy slightly better progress across EB1, EB2, and EB3, although EB5 unreserved remains at risk of pressure. Meanwhile, applicants from the rest of the world can expect stability and positive signs in multiple EB categories, especially EB2 and EB3. But now comes the most important update of all, the USCIS chart decision. As many of you know, every month USCIS decides whether applicants inside the U.S. can use the final action chart or the dates for filing chart for submitting their I-485 adjustment of status applications. And early indicators show that USCIS is leaning toward allowing dates for filing again in January 2026. This could be a game changer. If dates for filing remains open, thousands of applicants with earlier priority dates will finally be able to file for adjustment of status. That means faster access to work permits, EAD, travel permits, advanced parole, and earlier processing benefits. For many applicants, 2026 might become the year their file finally starts moving again. So what should you do now? First, review your priority date and compare it with the latest December 2025 bulletin. If your date is near the filing chart cutoff, January could be your moment. Second, start preparing your I-485 documents early. Make sure your medical exam, I-693, tax transcripts, birth certificates, photos, and supporting documents are ready. If you wait until the bulletin comes out, you might lose valuable time. Third, if you're an employment-based applicant, ensure your employer is not delaying PERM or I-140 filings. For EB-5 investors, keep a close eye on category-specific demand, especially in unreserved categories. January 2026 could bring new opportunities, but only if you are ready. In conclusion, the January 2026 Visa Bulletin is shaping up to be one of the most important updates of the year. Family categories are stable and cautiously positive. Employment categories show a mix of slow but hopeful movement. India and China may see only modest advancement, while rest of the world applicants could see stronger progress. And most importantly, if USCIS allows the dates for filing chart, thousands of new I-485 applications may finally enter the system at the beginning of the year.